My good friend, Gavin Ray Stuttering. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you, Matthew Joseph Lepore?
Did you use my government on
You
the
just used
podcast?
my government.
No, I didn't. You have no proof of that.
Okay.
Anyways, welcome to another episode of Stuttering in Silence. I am one of the other half of Stuttering in Silence. My name is Matthew, as I said earlier, and this is
Jose.
the reason I'm going to cry.
Cry.
What?
Cry. It's like when people say, I beg to differ, and it's like, then beg.
Anyways, so on this episode, we're going to be continuing the theme of the month, where we are doing cold cases. So, as you said last week, to end the podcast, we're doing every month. We're going to try to stick with one theme instead of just jumping around and doing things jumbled up, and kind of create a atmosphere of like you guys know what to expect and things like that. So today we're going to be doing the cold cases. We're doing another 5 cold cases we found that we thought were interesting, and we're going to talk about them on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but just to start it off, how are you, my good friend? Anything new, hot and happening?
There are things happening. But no, we're excuse me. We're living. We're still here. We're kicking, But yeah, I mean, nothing's really going on too crazy in my life. I went to work all week. Spent some quality time with the girlfriend, and then now we're here.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
what
it's
about
good.
you?
Nothing.
No,
Nothing's
nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Lord. Yes. Nothing to report. But, sir, as I took it away last week, I would love if you could give me your number 1 or number 5, however you're doing your numbering. Tell me the cold case, man.
Sure. So I do have them, but I mean, I don't have them like 1 through 5. I just wanted to do the ones that I kind of picked at random, because what I'm going to be doing is the most notorious cold cases for each state. And so I figured it would be a little on the nose, but a little good to start us off here with the first state I'm going to be doing here is Pennsylvania, our home state there.
Nice.
So the one from Pennsylvania lists as an unidentified boy discovered in a box in 1957 became known as, quote, the boy in the box, end quote. On February 26, 1957, the body of a small boy was found beaten and disposed of in a box on Susquehanna Road in Philadelphia. Police estimated that the boy was between 4 and 6 years old. 60 years later, his identity and that of his killer hasn't yet been discovered. 6 ABC News in Philadelphia calls it, quote, one of the highest profile unsolved mysteries in Philadelphia history, end quote. A historic marker was mounted for the boy in the box in Philadelphia in 2017.
Damn.
The case was also featured on America's Most Wanted.
That's, you know what, though? That was one of the ones that I had.
Really?
Yeah. That's wild. See, PA cases.
PA cases.
I don't know, dude. Just to say what I said last week, when it comes to children and things like this, what pisses me off is like you do have a responsibility as a parent, as a mother, as a father, and they said he was around 4 to 6 years old, right?
Yeah, between 4 and 6.
So, what? Wait, it was in a J.C. Penney's box. That's what I'm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have that on this particular website, but yeah. No, he was found in a box, and it's been 60 years. Or 60 years later, they still haven't found, it's still a cold case, obviously.
So what do you think? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You find a kid in a box.
Yeah.
No one has any, idea of who it possibly could be.
Uh-huh.
No one has any idea of killers, murderers, or I guess that's the same. That's the same thing. I'm doing really good at wording today.
Yep.
Anyways, how likely do you think at that age, between 4 and 6, that do you think the parents actually did that?
probably. Well, I mean, I don't know if it was the parents per se, but I do know that when children are small, it's they're the highest rate or the highest percentage chance that their parents are going to harm them in some way is from the ages of what is it?
What?
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's like 6 months to 2 years, I think, or 3 years old. It's like the highest chances, I believe.
What?
Well, because like you have like the shaking baby syndrome
yeah.
and all that stuff. Because they're so small and fragile that like anything could harm them. Like they can't protect themselves or whatever. But then they're also like being a parent, like it puts you into a whole new world. So I feel like, especially I feel like I heard about it a lot more back when I was little. But
I don't know. Well,
yeah.
I do know, like at that age, like even 0 to 4. You said.
I think I don't know. I saw it being talked about a while ago, and I don't remember the exact statistic. So I believe it was like 6 months to 2 years, but I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, well, think about how much a kid needs, how much a baby needs.
Yeah.
Like if you have a baby that is colic, you're constantly getting up, caring for the baby, getting sleep. Like I know parents have actually admitted that they wanted to just launch the baby,
Yeah,
out of the house.
because you also got what is it? Where like the mom hates the baby. What is it? Separation. Postpartum.
Postpartum.
Postpartum, where they don't. So something happens in their brain. They don't want to take care of the baby. They don't want the baby. Stuff along those lines.
Well, I thought there was just a case I saw on TikTok where a guy just totally just launches the baby, or a mom launches the baby
What?
out of like a house.
What?
Because yeah, it was like one of those things where it's like top 5, like kind of what we're doing, top 5 like craziest cases and things like that happen with like small children. It's like mother just gets, I guess it was either colicky or whatever it was, and just full sent it, was like, you have to fly now, and
Wow. That's
could not
terrible.
fly.
That's terrible.
Bad joke. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, onto a different topic.
Moving on.
That got dark. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to get... So it's the kids, man. The kids. Okay, so last week I talked about the Zodiac Killer.
Yep.
Everyone kind of knows about the Zodiac Killer, but this one was particularly interesting because, as it is described, they actually mentioned the Zodiac Killer because he used codes and things like that. On the morning of December 1st in 1948, a body was found on the Somerton Beach in, I think it's Adelaide, Australia. The man's body was in perfect condition with no injuries to be found. Excuse me. He was well dressed, although the labels on his clothes were missing. In his pocket, there was a train ticket to the Henley Beach. It was never used. About a month later, they would find a suitcase linked to the railroad station, and its labels was removed, as well as the articles and the clothing that were inside of it. Unfortunately, it led to no clues, just like the autopsy. And here's where it gets interesting. Which it reported no foreign substances in his body, which could directly link the death to poisoning. A month later, they would find that the most sustainable or the most substantial evidence that they do end up finding for the clues and things like that is absolutely puzzling, no pun intended. And they found a secret note in a secret pocket in the man's trousers, and it read, "Taman Shud." Public library officials called to translate the phrase and concluded that it meant ended or finished, which can be found in a collection of poems entitled, I'm going to butcher this, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Immediately, police ran a nationwide search for the book where the scrap paper was torn from, and a man came forward claiming he had found the book in the backseat of his unlocked car a week or two before the discovered body. On the back of it was a strange code that, scribbled out in pencil, a phone number linking to a nurse was also discovered. Through the nurse, she was given a copy of the Rubaiyat, that poem, that book, to an army officer named Alfred Boxall. Both the man and the woman and the nurse denied having any connection with the dead body. They never got any other further information towards the case or any substantial evidence that they need to kind of further this thing along. And with that, they figured it must have been a suicide. And the book and the poems itself the biggest theme in them is suicide and not having any regrets when you die or any regrets into the afterlife. There are also things I know I talked with you about this earlier because I thought it was a really interesting case was him being a spy.
Oh.
They thought that was a thing with not having any markings. He just died. There was no substantial evidence to show that he actually killed himself or that it was like a toxic poisoning situation. However, his stone or his gravestone does still read, "Here lies the unknown man who was found at Somerton Beach, December 1st, 1948."
Jeez. So basically, so what? It was after he died, was all the speculation coming out like, oh, he was a spy. He was.
Mm-hmm.
This was 48, right? 48.
Yes, 48. Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's kind of a
Well, do you think he would have had like, what are the chances he put something in his own pocket? Well, but that's also the other. Like, do you think it was somebody that killed him that put his stuff in there?
Well, that's the whole speculation. They had no other evidence that he had no wounds or anything, so they can't necessarily say, "Hey, he was murdered," But if someone did kill him, that's where the spy thing comes out. Because if he was a spy or they're trying to get rid of him, someone could have left that note as a clue or whatever it is. But once again, you look at like the Zodiac killings, you never knew who it was, but they had all these signs, these codexes, these symbols.
But how do you kill somebody without harming them?
I mean, I guess poisoning really doesn't count because you're harming them,
but they also didn't find any poison.
Exactly.
So how would?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Something to think about. I mean, this would definitely be really cool for one of us to dive into if we keep this theme going.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was a cool case. I'm glad it came up on the little situation we have going on here. But I just thought it was interesting. And it's a Australia case, so it's overseas, over the big pond.
Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting because I don't know if you ever heard about. I was thinking about this the other day. Have you ever watched the show Cold Case?
Yes.
So apparently that show is based off of. It's based in Philadelphia in the show, apparently, but it's based off of actual cold cases from the 50s in Philadelphia.
What?
Yeah. Could be making that whole thing up, but
No,
that's what I heard.
Interesting.
Because I used to watch that show all the time, and it was always about back in the 50s or the 60s or the 80s or whatever. But it was always way back in the day, and because they would do that cool flashback thing, which I think is still one of the coolest things any show has ever done.
What do you mean?
So they go and they're like, all right, we're doing this cold case on John Doe. This is where his brother lives. And they go to his brother's house, and when the brother opens the door, it turns him into his younger self for a minute, a second, and then it flashes back to him now. I always thought that was the coolest.
That's cool.
That was the coolest thing a TV show could ever do. And I wish more shows did that. But
yeah.
All right, so for the second one that I have here, it's actually out of Rhode Island.
Okay.
All right, and it is this one. I think you're gonna get a kick out of, because it is the North Kingstown Police Department.
Okay.
That holds the funny part. So, on February 16th, 1980, the body of Joanne Lee Reynolds, 24, was found in her apartment at 1185 10 Rod Road. She had been brutally murdered, and the case has remained unsolved. Now, one local detective is hoping to use the social media giant Facebook to uncover new clues in this cold case.
Okay, all right.
Detective John Urban created this Facebook page, shows the link, this month, and is seeking any information, regardless of how trivial it may seem, regarding her personal life and the days leading up to Reynolds' murder.
Jeez.
The page has pictures of Reynolds, the house she was found in, an aerial shot of the neighborhood, and information on where she had worked. As of Tuesday, the page had 429 friends.
Damn.
Urban issued a press release to the media throughout the state last week and said Joanne's memory is still, quote, very much alive and with her family, end quote. The media exposure has been great, he said on Tuesday. I've received leads already that we are looking into. Urban said that he decided to create the Facebook page after learning of a Warwick police detective that had created a page for Kathy Perry, who was murdered on September 15th, 1986.
Wow.
So This is very outdated. This article was posted on October 25th, 2012.
Okay.
But, yeah, this is the most notorious case for Rhode Island, and it was basically she obviously was murdered back in 1980. Joanne was, but then this detective was like, you know what would be a good idea is to just create a Facebook page and try to get people to give us information.
Well, that's not a bad idea because I know with a lot of cases you have what are they called? They're called internet sleuths or internet detectives. Like people find out. You see it on TikTok all the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, if you're Alicia and your boyfriend is Ron and he is going on, people find it.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is interesting that was his be all end all.
That was his thing. Well, I mean, it's a very interesting thing because social media is one of the best ways to gain information on things you wouldn't have elsewhere or would be harder to get elsewhere. So I mean, I can understand if he was like, you know what, we're just not getting anywhere on this thing. Let me just throw a shot in the dark and see if anybody gives me anything to go on.
420 some people.
400, yeah, 430. Wait, 400. Wait. 429.
Damn.
Friends as of October 25th, 2012.
I wonder. Maybe we should do some more deep dive on that one. That's pretty cool because if you think about it, there might be some more stuff on that too. Because I feel like when you have a Facebook page, especially a lot of these moms that have nothing to do, or dads that have nothing to do,
yeah,
they might just be like, you know what?
Well, you know what I will say though about Facebook is I see people on Facebook using it way more and using it correctly, like the way social media was intended to be used, as apart from any other social media. Because if you look at Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, it's not people communicating in the way. It's more of like, I'm presenting you with something, whether it be a video or a picture. I'm presenting you with this thing. Give me likes. And then people are commenting, oh, this dude is this girl is this person, ha ha ha, LOL, JK, da 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 da. But on Facebook, it's like, hey guys, we're going camping this weekend. Just wanted to throw out a shout out to this cool campfire. And then it's like, oh my God, where is that? And like the comment, right? It's like, oh my, and then they comment back, oh my God, Janet,
yeah.
this is, and then they have like a whole conversation. Oh, and like people are coming out of the woodwork to be like, congratulations, this is great. Da, da, da. I'm like, that's how Facebook is supposed. That's how social media I feel like is supposed to be used. Kind of it's like a community. Yeah. Like it should be like an online community of people that you meet and people you already know. But no, it's just what we have, just brain rot. Just
what the
how vile can they be in the comments? You know what I mean? And then it's like,
that is a thing.
Yeah, and then it's like on Facebook, they're all like, "We'll see you at the barbecue on Saturday." But I don't know. I mean, obviously, Facebook is for the older generations. So,
isn't that funny? Not to like totally sidetrack it, but like, even Instagram is almost considered old.
Yeah.
Like Amanda doesn't use Instagram.
Well, Instagram is. I mean, I'm glad because Instagram is a cesspool.
Yeah, big facts, big baller facts. Anyways, so going on to number 2 for me. This happened on my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember my own birthday this day. I'm so sorry. I'm a bad friend. Okay, so it's always the morning. On the morning of September 20th, Matthew's birthday, in 1988, wasn't even born yet, in... I'm sorry.
You don't say.
In Belen, New Mexico. It seemed like a perfect day to ride a bike. Tara Calico borrowed her mother's pink bike and to go out for a spin. Extroverted and active, she worked as a bank teller and was studying to become a psychologist and a psychiatric. She planned to play tennis that afternoon and asked her mom to drive out with her. And then she got a flat tire and didn't return home till noon. She never did return. Every lead went to a dead end until a year later when a photo was found depicting a young woman her age and a missing boy, both gagged. Now, I will finish the rest of this, but I'll show you the photo and maybe we can put it up. But the photo is gross. It's, again, you're kids, dude.
Yeah. And how old is she?
I don't think I don't see it.
Oh, it doesn't say her age?
It might.
I mean, if she was a bank teller, she'd have to be at least 18.
Yeah, she definitely is over the age. But the Polaroid photograph was found in a parking lot outside a junior food store in Florida. The 9-year-old. Oh, there you go. See, 9-year-old.
Wait a minute.
So
her
no, she's
mom.
not 9, but I think the boy is 9. The 9-year-old Michael. The 9-year-old Michael Henley went missing the same area as Calico in the April of 1988 when he was hunting. He was hunting turkeys for his father. They appeared to be in the back of a van with a copy of a book written V.C. Andrews, Calico's favorite author, lying right beside the girl. Initially, Tara's mother didn't think the girl was her, but the girl in the photograph had a scar identical to Calico. But still, due to the lack of evidence, many experts dismissed the photograph. In 1990, Michael Henley's body was found in the Zuni Mountains where he was hunting, which strongly disconnects the theory that they were abducted and taken to Florida. Calico's parents would eventually die, never finding out who took their daughter. Yeah.
That sucks. So basically, she was abducted or she went missing, and then there was a picture that surfaced where they thought it was her and this other little boy.
Yeah, you want to go to the photo?
No, I don't need to see the photo.
Oh, okay.
But then they said after they found the boy's remains that they probably weren't abducted because he was hunting in that same area.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
yeah. So it said that they appear to be in the back of the van with a copy of the one book of her favorite author.
But that's also, I mean, it's kind of wild that they would just dismiss that if it's her favorite author, an identical
Same
scar. I mean, it is a little random it is a big gap in age if she's like, let's just say minimum she's 18 and the boy was 9. That would be a pretty big age gap to like go after at the same time.
Because it does say here too, 1990, Michael Henley's the boy.
Yeah.
Spotted was found in the Zuni Mountains where he was hunting, which and then it says here again strongly disconnects the theory that they were abducted and taken to Florida.
Right.
So we don't necessarily know if that was them or whatever it is, but you also have a person who is studying in school, right? They're working towards something. They're being a bank teller. It's as you know, it's a stressful job. You got things going on. You got numbers. You're making money. You're not just gonna piece up A-Town that job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with a future ahead of you.
Right.
And then a Polaroid photo of the girl with the same scar on a book. It just.
Yeah. It's just wild to me that they could just dismiss that as evidence or whatever.
What do you think you would do? Like, okay, if you got that photo,
yeah,
it looks like your daughter.
Yeah.
Realistically, what do you think your next steps would be?
I think I would handle it very similarly to the way that Hugh Jackman handled things in Prisoners. If anybody's seen that movie. Yeah, I would make it apparent to try to find my daughter as fast as I could if I, start going Liam Neeson on their ass. Yeah, well, I mean, what else are you going to do? You're going to sit there and watch TV and be like, I hope the police find my daughter. No, dude. Like, I'm going to find my daughter.
Yeah, dude.
Then I'm going to do everything I could. But if I saw a picture and there was like, that's my kid,
Yeah.
do
you think you would be able to discern like you'd be able to like discern what's the word I'm looking for here? I can't think of it. Emotions versus logistics. Like, would you be able to look at that and be very unbiased towards it?
No. Okay. So you're telling me that if your daughter goes missing, and then there's just a picture of someone that looks identical to your daughter with the exact same scar as your daughter, with the same book her favorite author in a photo, you're going to look at it and go, well, now let's not jump to conclusions. Yeah. All right, pal.
You do that voice well. Anyone ever tell you that?
What voice?
Well, now, let's not jump to conclusions. Oh,
I'm just saying that's what yeah, I'd freak out. I'd be like, yeah, I'm finding her. Like, and if they did they know that it was in Florida at the time of the picture surfaced, or is that like way later?
Looking here, show me return park. So a Polaroid photograph was found in the parking lot outside of a junior food store in Florida.
Oh.
So they found the Polaroid in Florida.
Okay.
And Michael Henley was missing in the same area, but again, his body was found in the Zuni Mountains. So we don't know if they.
And where is that? New Mexico?
I couldn't tell you. But yeah, dude. So looks like another dead kid. This is gonna be a rough month, dude.
Yeah, cold cases are rough because it's a lot of kids. Because
Calico's parents eventually died, never finding out who took their daughter.
that's terrible. All right. Well, the third one that I have, as we move on here, the third one that I have is out of Tennessee, and it is called the Redhead Murders of red-haired women occurred in Tennessee, as well as 4 other states over 3 decades. In the 1970s, 80s, and even into the 90s, bodies of redheaded women were found in Memphis, Jellicoe, Ashland City, and Greenville, Tennessee, as well as Kentucky, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Pennsylvania.
Really?
All of the bodies were found along major highways, suggesting that they were hitchhiking or working in prostitution, according to the that's an R. Yeah, the Gadsden Times. They were dubbed, quote, the Redheaded Murders. Local authorities from all 5 states enlisted the help of the FBI to track down the serial killer, but they have continued to elude arrest. The exact number of victims is unknown, but it could be as many as 11 women. Damn. So for 30 years, spanning over 3 decades, they were finding the bodies of these women.
So, how many total states did that go through?
4.
4 states.
It was Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, or 5. Kentucky, yeah, because it was Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Arkansas, and PA, Pennsylvania.
How's that travel? It travels, right?
Yeah, well, Tennessee's beneath us, so it would go through into Kentucky, then down to Mississippi.
MISSISSIPPI?
IPPISSISSIM.
I actually hate you. That's a lot. Like,
well, what's crazy about it is not only that they were all found in the same way, on the side of a highway.
Yeah.
Right? So they were alluding to the fact that they could either be hitchhiking or prostituting, on the side of highways, I guess.
Because I-95 runs this way, right?
Dude, I don't know, brother. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't know.
Figure the murder out.
Go
Give
ahead.
me 30 minutes of pencil and crack cocaine. We're gonna get it done.
Solve the murders, please, because they need some justice. So, but yeah, so they say it could be as many as 11 women, but it's interesting because, going over the span of 30 years that these women are being found, do you think it's all the same person? Like, could that be all one, let's say one dude?
Well, I guess it comes down to what do they say? Not motive, signature. Their signature.
Yeah, but I mean that's still a long time to be doing that, and getting away with it. So maybe it was like, maybe someone did it and then it was like copycats, or maybe it was just one I don't know.
Could have been copycats, but also at the same time, it could be more murders. Because if you think about it, if people weren't catching on to it, or whatever was happening wasn't really going on, you have a dead body there. But
yeah.
if like a fox, a mountain lion, I don't know, alligator, like zebra, that's
no, not a zebra.
Anywho's, now they could have taken it and eaten it.
Yeah.
Could be way more, could be way less. People could just be running it over. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that could be happening, and it's sad to say that, but it could be a lot more bodies.
Well, let's ask you this.
No.
Okay. If you're driving on the highway, it's just you on the road, late at night, like 1 a.m.
Okay.
You're driving, all of a sudden you see something. You see a body on the side of the road. Do you stop and call the cops, or do you keep driving?
Ooh. I think I would call the cops. I think I would get out of my car.
Hmm.
I guess if I had to. See, it's tricky because a lot of the times, there's also setups in the U.S. and around the world where it's like you see, like baby carriages, they're just out there, and people are like, they stop next thing you know, you're getting killed, you're getting taken, you're getting murdered, you're getting your car stolen, and it's like, I definitely think if I saw a dead body from my car, I 100% would call. I definitely would not get out of my car and investigate. Let me tell you that right at the bug now.
No.
All right. Onverse.
Yeah.
You're driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Onverse.
Lay it on me.
You are driving from where we are right now.
Yeah.
You're heading down Germantown Pike. And now Germantown Pike
Okay.
is kind of dark. And when you get to when you get to that like state park little situation, right? It's pretty dark, right? Are you stopping?
I mean, if I saw it, I'd pull over and call the cops and be like, hey, at least the very bare minimum, be like, I think I just saw a body on the side of the road. I don't know. I may even kind of hang out until the cops get there, but probably would hang out till the cops get there and be like, hey. But then also at the same time, it's like, you never know because especially the way cops are handling things, then nowadays they might be like, well, why did you find this body? I mean, where are you going? 2:00 in the morning.
Your mom's house.
That's what I might say something along those lines, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's scary because it's like what do you do, like if you see that kind of thing? But for those women to be found like that, it's obviously it shows a pattern. Obviously, it's so it's just crazy to think about that. It's like because it was stopped allegedly in the 90s. And now we're into the 2020s, halfway through the 2020s almost.
There was a did you watch Criminal Minds, right?
Yeah.
So you know where I'm going with this one?
Maybe.
Who was that one notorious killer that Hodgins? Hodges. He
killed his wife?
What? No, he didn't. His wife got shot and killed.
Yeah.
By the one guy.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was the guy you're talking about.
No. Like the main dude. The one guy died, but this killer for years went on like a stale period. What's it called? Just stop killing because he made a deal with the one cop.
Yeah.
Cop dies, and the cop goes to. What's his name? I know it's like an H, not Hodgins. Hodgins is something else. Doesn't matter. But the guy stayed dormant for X amount number of years, and then he came back and just started going on a mayhem of killings. So maybe sometimes people like go, "Hey, I'm gonna not do this," and then they get the itch again.
Could be. I don't know.
All right. Anyways, mine is my number 3, right? Yep. The severed feet mystery. It's kind of a cute little photos here of white New Balances.
Oh.
In 2007, a girl was roaming the beach in British Columbia when she found a sneaker. To her horror, as she opened up the sock, she found a human foot that was inside. Since then, a number of severed feet have been washed ashore. The feet have been connected to 5 men, 1 woman, and 3 of the unknown sex. Throughout the years, with hoax feet, the case has never been completely closed, with many theories floating around to who the feet belong to. Vancouver police managed to identify one foot in 2008, matching its DNA to a man who was described as suicidal. They later were able to match 2 other feet to women who were also believed to have committed suicide. Because of these findings, many speculations that the feet were belonged to people who had jumped off the bridge to their death. However, because of the rarity of only feet and no other body parts showing up, some believed that the feet were connected to a plane crash by a nearby island. Others suggest that they were those of victims of the Asian tsunami in 2004, and since make the shoes were all manufactured before 2004. However, sources say that this is where the feet are coming from, and have left the world baffled. So I don't even know how to continue a conversation with that, because You
Bermuda Triangle.
no. How?
But they were washing up, so
Well, it says they were just feet like shoes with feet inside of them. Because it doesn't. What I was also looking for too is it didn't say anything about them being surgically removed, like where someone might have an idea of how to do that.
yeah.
So then you're dealing in a situation where it's like, are people just cutting off people's feet? Are people just continuing on with what's going around them?
Yeah.
However, I do think that if it being committed to suicide, depending on what bridge they're going off of or where they're jumping, it could take their body parts completely off. But the tsunami thing, the 2004 Asian tsunami, they were manufactured before 2004. So
Maybe there's something in the water.
But there's feet. Like, there should be other body parts. I think that's the whole thing with this cold case is that there should be other body parts that are washing up.
Unless the rest of the body parts got eaten from something in the ocean.
But why wouldn't they eat the feet?
You ask them. It all stems to the Bermuda Triangle. Anyway.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah. Go
all
to
right,
your number 4.
we're moving on. Number 4.
So many feet. Okay.
Between 1920, this is out of Vermont. Between 1920 and 1950, as many as 10 people disappeared in what's called, quote, the Bennington Triangle in southwestern Vermont.
So that makes sense why you're talking about the Bermuda Triangle, because it's a Bennington Triangle, and you were segueing it into, you know what?
Maybe.
I'm gonna bounce.
Okay. Between 1920 and 1950, as many as 10 people mysteriously disappeared in a patch of woods surrounding Glastonbury Mountain in southwestern Vermont. Some have also reported UFO activity and Bigfoot sightings in the area.
Cool.
Author Joseph Citro coined the term Bennington Triangle in 1992. So 10 people disappeared in the same triangle, where there also have been sightings of UFOs and Bigfoot. Just saying.
So it's the Bennington Triangle, not the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle is something else.
Yeah, that's where like the boats and the planes and stuff.
Yeah, where they go in,
so
and they go, noom, 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 then they disappear.
That what you just did, that was documented.
Yeah.
And is going to be streaming on all platforms.
That's fine, because that's what happened. Zzz.
So, how many people died again? You said 10?
10 between 10, or no, yeah, 10. Between 1920 and 1950, 10 people. As many as 10. So it could be more.
Bigfoot's been sighted?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
What if that case and this case are connected, but Bigfoot and the aliens just don't want the feet? So then they go, just like we do with our trash.
And they throw the feet in the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, wait a minute, because then 2 triangles connected.
If you don't fucking say it.
Okay.
Don't, please.
All right.
For the love of God.
Okay. No, we're fine. We're so good. Let's go to your number 4.
Oh God. We're gonna have to do a bit or something about I'm not gonna say the name because I'm not gonna have you tism.
Okay.
You could.
Fantastic.
We're back, baby. Number 4. I don't know, dude. I was just because I think because like this is all like sad and it's like we're looking up cases and we're doing
Yeah, we try to
research.
add a little bit of humor. Come on, man. I don't want to be sad. I want to be happy.
Oh, dude, we can't diss him. Anyways, so
come on.
Any Husenhausen. The dead woman who named her killer. So, Although this case has been solved. Oh, they lied to me.
Oh, snap.
How it was solved remains a mystery. In 1977, a respiratory therapist in Chicago was murdered in her apartment. Teresita Bassa was found under a flaming mattress, a butcher knife buried in her chest. Police attempted to track the stolen jewelry with no luck. Excuse me. They also failed by trying to link any of the suspects to the crime. It seemed impossible to find the perpetrator, that is, until Remy Chua, a co-worker who barely knew the victim, inadvertently became a leading source of information. Chua began having frequent visions and nightmares about Bassa. It started in the locker room of her work, where she experienced a man's face behind Bassa. This would repeat in her dreams. Chua began channeling Bassa's spirit when conversing with her husband, while channeling Bassa's extra numerical affairs, or whatever the spiritual thing is. And she claimed out of the ordinary in the hospital named Alan Showery was helping Bassa with her television when he assaulted her. He then killed her and put her on her mattress, set fire to her, and put a chef knife, whatever you want to call it, right into her chest.
Oh.
The spirit was even able to give the details of what happened to her jewelry, which was given to Showery's common-law wife. Mr. Chua convinced his wife to get these details to the police. The police were skeptical at first, but after seeing that Bassa's jewelry and the jewelry's wife, Bassa's cousin, who was able to confirm all this stuff with the spirits and things that she found, the police were able to convict the man for 14 years in jail. Unfortunately, there was not enough evidence to convict him longer, but it was really Bassa's ghost who named her killer. Perhaps Chua had some facts in the case that described the spirit possessing her, which led her to the police for finding the person. So basically, after reading this and butchering some names here, this woman dies, right?
Yep.
Gets burned, knife in chest.
Yep.
Her spirit goes to her coworker.
Yep.
And her coworker channels the spirit.
Right.
Finds all the jewelry.
Yeah.
Channels all of the spiriting stuff.
Yeah.
Converses with her husband.
Uh-huh.
And where is it? It says, oh God, I just lost it. Alan Showery. She claimed that the orderly, not orderly. Can I not read today? Am I just retarded? I don't know. Can I say that word?
I don't think so.
Okay. But yeah, so I guess their orderly killed the woman, but she found it out through a spiritual awakening. Yes. So that is the case. I hate that I feel like I butchered it, but
okay.
The co-worker who barely knew the victim inadvertently became a leading source of information through the spirits.
All right. So basically,
break it down.
All right. So so her coworker channeled her spirit, but were the cops not looking at the coworker and or her husband like?
Well, that's what I was thinking, right? But apparently, I guess not. They did say here the police were skeptical at first, but after seeing that Boss's jewelry on Showery's wife, so the guy that killed Bassa,
yeah,
right? They couldn't track down all this jewelry. The police couldn't track all this jewelry down, but Showery, the orderly who killed Bassa, his wife was wearing Bossa's jewelry. So it's like, where did this jewelry go? Gotcha. How do we find it? And then all of a sudden, this person knows through a spiritual awakening that this person is the killer.
Gotcha.
Now we have all the stuff.
Gotcha. Very interesting. That's kind of insane.
Let me ask you a question. Does this make you ever feel some type of way where it's like maybe there are spirits from beyond that help?
I mean, not this particular case, I don't think, but I do think in general that there are, like, I do feel as though there are spirits in some way that can affect, or some entity that we can't see, but we can feel in some way. I do. I mean, it makes sense, and not to say that it's. I don't believe that somebody passes away and then they're coming back to you to be like, hey, I'll be this warm ray of sunshine on you today. And I don't think that, but I personally believe that if you're going to these places and if you're messing with spirit boxes or Ouija boards and stuff, it's actually like malevolent spirits, you know.
I've heard that. I've heard that that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always say goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't mess with any of that. I don't think anybody should. I think it's kind of dumb because best case scenario, you're contacting a form of existence beyond this plane, like beyond this plane of existence. You ever think about it that way?
No.
Like you're not. Oh, we're ghost hunting.
Oh, you're trying.
You're contacting. Let's say it's your brother. Your brother, who unfortunately passed away, who is existing in another plane of existence that we can only access through this particular time or this particular way, or it would be earth shattering. That's insane.
Do you ever wonder, like,
all the time? Sorry.
Are you?
No.
Anyways, do you ever wonder, like, if you really sat there with a Ouija board, do you think you would be able to trust the person that you're doing the Ouija board with to get an actual answer, and the other person's just not fucking with you?
Well, I also feel like you could tell, like if your hands are completely limp and like still, and then all of a sudden you feel like from the other side of the chip it starts moving. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you'd be able to tell.
Ouija board.
No, I just said not doing Ouija boards. That's so dumb. It's literally like inviting spirits, like evil spirits, to come into your house for no reason.
Or to say goodbye.
Nope.
I heard the ginn's pretty cool.
No, you're an idiot.
Anyways, continue on, my friend.
Okay, this is my last one I'm doing. It's out of Washington. And you're going to like this one considering the other one you just talked about not too long ago. This is the Murders and Mineral in 1985 became known as the, quote, tube sock killings. So, in 1985, two couples disappeared in the wooded areas of Pierce and Lewis counties. Stephen Harkins and his girlfriend, Ruth Cooper, were found dead. Then Mike Reamer disappeared while his girlfriend, Diana Robertson, was found dead. In both cases, the women had tube socks tied around their necks. In 2011, Mike Reamer was also confirmed dead when part of his skull was found near Mineral. I guess that's Mineral's a place in Washington. The, quote, tube sock killings were featured on Unsolved Mysteries. So that's kind of...
Unsolved Mysteries. Was that one of like those like FX shows?
I don't know if it was FX. It might have been like History Channel maybe, or was it like True TV or something maybe? Something like that. But it was a while ago.
How do you die by a tube sock?
Well, I think I don't know. Maybe they were strangled. Because it doesn't say here. But I mean, it just says that the women had tube socks tied around their necks, not the men. So
like,
I guess if you tied them together somehow, you could like.
But when was that again?
This was in 1985.
They might have had like the Johns where it's like all the way up the.
Maybe, but no, those don't really come around till like later.
Really?
I think so.
I love it.
Like tube socks, you're talking about I'm talking about the ones that like high up, like almost like above the calf, like almost above the calf. Like
you could strangle someone with that.
You could get something done with that.
I guess because I'm thinking about like the socks that I have, like they're like.
But it talked up until in 2011. It took for someone to find Mike Reamer's part of his skull, so he was also killed. So it doesn't say how the men were killed, but it just says that the women were found with tube socks around their necks.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
How do you decide that's your choice of weapon?
Well, that's the thing is maybe it wasn't a planned out thing. Maybe it was by happenstance or it was by accident. and then they just lost control, or maybe it was they didn't plan it, they just had to have it done. They just needed to get that itch fixed, you know. I don't know.
Damn, dude. Well, I'm gonna go into my last one, sir.
Yep, lay it on me.
This one is kind of cool because we were talking about ghosts and we were talking about spirits beyond.
Yeah.
Although I did butcher that last one a little bit with my spirit reading skills.
Sorry.
However, this is the case of Jeanette de Palma. So, the photo that it's showing here, witchcraft implicated in De Palma murder.
Wow.
So this would be a pretty cool one. I do like these cases only because I'm not like a spiritual person when it comes to like spirits and things like that, but I do believe that there is something beyond what we see in the flesh.
Okay.
So I think these kind of cases are kind of cool. Like
so wait, when you say you don't believe in spirits, you believe just in like another.
I'm not saying like I don't like. I believe in spirits. Like I just don't want to sound corny, but like I'm a spiritual person, you know. So I try to look for a way to like.
Gotcha. Kind of beat around the bush there.
Cop out, yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyways, usually, oh god, here we go. Usually, people connect witches to the Salem, Massachusetts. How did I just bite my tongue? For this particular case, the witches were in Springfield. If you make a Jersey joke, I'm going to cry. Okay. In Springfield, New Jersey, it all started in 1972 when a dog was brought home and decomposed into the house. It prompted the police search, and a body was soon found afterwards, stopped in Springfield. So the body was identified to be Jeanette Palmer, a 16-year-old who had gone missing for 6 weeks. Immediately, rumors began spreading for the cause of death. The hill where she was discovered was covered with symbols, like oculus symbols, you know, like which things, you know what I'm talking about? No. Like
kind of?
Yeah, like cultish symbols.
Okay,
occults.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's very occult, like it's very
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so
I'm with you.
Yep. So they believed that her body was placed on a makeshift altar. Many locals, even some police members, became a coven of witches, otherwise known as like Satanists, who used De Palma for a human sacrifice. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Well, okay, not cool, but like, you know,
that's insane.
Membrane, yes, sir. Because of a flood, much of the case's details have been destroyed. However, some of the reports of the local papers mention that the police couldn't determine the cause of death due to her badly decomposed body. They had also investigated a local homeless man who was the prime suspect, only to find no connection with the killing. As for the occult theory, many believe that De Palma may have provoked a group of Satanist worshippers at her high school, where she was trying to get them to not, you know, believe in that, like come to God, Gotcha. She was involved with a group who helped drug addicts by finding faith in Christ. She revered these people and ran a group that theorized to end up sacrificing people and believing in Satan and things like that. So she looks to be a human sacrifice. Was she a human sacrifice? The suspicions that everyone has is that because of the occultic and the symbolistic symbols that are on her body, it being on an altar and people in this area being cult-like, probably were like, you know what, you pissed us off, you believe in God, you're saving drug addicts from all this stuff, you're a 16-year-old girl, we don't want this to go any further, we're gonna burn and eat your body. I don't know if they ate their body, that's probably, I just made that up, but.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane though, to think about, like, people really would do that to someone else, because like you see it not all the time, but you see it, I guess, when people are talking about like being Satanists or being stuff like that, when they're like sacrificing animals, I guess, like birds or
There's
goats and stuff, like weird stuff, lambs or whatever.
Why is it always goats? I feel like it's always goats.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to somebody that's a part of that scene, because I have no idea. The only thing I know about it is the Baphomet is a goat head or something. I don't know. Don't fucking do the symbol, dude.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
You never heard that song?
No. Yeah, I've heard the song.
Oh.
All right. I know where you're going. Anyway.
Husenhausen?
No, it's weird that that they would actually follow through and like kill somebody because they were against their belief.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens all the time. Look at what just kind of happened with Trump. They try to kill him for like different beliefs and things like that.
It's true.
But I feel like it happens all the time, and it sucks because here's this girl like striving and doing things that like helping drug addicts, and whether it's in the name of God or not, which it seems like it was, and it definitely probably was with this girl. She was just trying to do her part and help her community, and people just decided, you know what?
Well, I wonder if maybe someone else had it out for her, and maybe someone else got to her, and then just made it look like it was the people that she was known publicly to be against, or had issues with her, because it would be like a calling sign for these people who are clearly, Satanists or or dealing in witchcraft or whatever it is, to be like to do it in this way and then just leave the body. So maybe somebody's trying to set them up.
Yeah, because it says here, where is it? Believed that De Palma had provoked a group of Satanist worshippers, like teens at her high school, when she was trying to get them to believe in God, and then she went and God forbid, help drug addicts by finding faith in Christ.
Yeah.
And sometimes with things like that, people just get so caught up in it, and they just
maybe, especially as a high school, like a bunch of high schoolers,
these
they might be just fully enthralled, and who knows? Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. You know what's crazy?
What?
I was crazy once.
Okay.
They locked me in a room.
Wrap it up.
Damn, dude, you don't want me to. You don't like that.
Nope.
Anything else you want to add, my friend?
No, I think we covered the bases. I think we got through our ones we had selected.
All right. Well, as we say every week, next couple weeks, guys, we will be doing cold cases, things like that. So if you guys like this, comment in the comments on YouTube or anything else you guys can reach out to us on, and let us know any cold cases that you might want us to talk about, and we will talk about it or look into it and see what's going on. Peace, guys.